Hello people of the YouTubes, this is my new acquisition, a very cheapo guitar, an Epiphone to be exact. We're just going to zoom in there. I'm using my mobile smartphone, so it's not going to be the best audio and visual quality because I don't have a proper dedicated video for YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber, professional or amateur. I'm just not a YouTuber. It's not even a guitar channel, as I keep saying. It's basically just a general channel that I use to watch other people do things. But I do put guitar related stuff on my own channel from time to time, even though it's not a guitar channel. I'm not a YouTuber. But there's no point in me investing in a very expensive camera to make YouTube videos when I'm not a YouTuber now, is it? But in any case, we're going to do our best with what we've got. So this is an Epiphone. Let's look at the headstock. Tell you what type of Epiphone it is. It's a Les Paul 1960 Tribute Plus. Very nice Epiphone. Logo and everything. Those happen to be proper Grover locking tuners, by the way. This is a very well spec guitar. That's just your bona fide plastic general nut. They call it imitation bone. It's plastic really. Probably going to change that for, I'm going to change that for a graphite one or whatever, a lubricated one, but right now that's what we've got. It does the job, but I'm changing that. So let's go down to the bottom of the guitar, just to show you. This is it's got a nice AAA veneer on it, so it's got a proper full maple cap. This is not my favourite colour, but I actually like this particular version of it because I don't know what the real colour is, cherry or something. That's not my favourite. In your face, like a soup, like they call it, like a tomato soup tin colour. This isn't like that though. This is faded. There's a lot less red around the outsides in this, a lot more kind of yellowy, kind of golden in the middle. And even the red around the outsides, there's less of it, but it's faded. It's a faded burst, so I don't know if it's called cherry burst, but you know what I mean. You know that's not. It's my least favourite actual colour, but this I think looks rather nice. So I'm digging that. Now, if we go down here, I'm going to be changing these out. So there's only two things I'm changing on this guitar: the nut in these. So I'm going to change these out for the proper amber top hat knobs. I'm not trying to change this into a 1950s guitar, but I am, sort of. Because as I go on to explain to you about the neck, it's not a 1950s neck on this, because this is a 1960 Tribute Plus after all. Why would I have a 50s neck? But I'm going to kind of change this into a 50s guitar, sort of. First off by changing these out for the top hat ones. These pickups are proper Gibson ones. It's a Seymour Duncan 59 set. So there's a 59 in the neck and a 59 plus, which is more hotter, overwound in the bridge position. So very good pickups, but I'm probably going to be swapping these out for Seymour Duncan Antiquity Retrospect pickups, which is probably my favourite humbucker. To give you 50s style kind of tone. I've got the Antiquity Retrospect in another guitar and they sound brilliant to me. So, but these are these are not lacking themselves. These are decent pickups. These will be going in another guitar. I actually like both pickups, but I think the Antiquity is going to sound better. Going to sound more 50s because these don't 100% sound 50s. Not only has this got these kind of good specs, good locking tuners, proper Gibson pickups. It's even got a proper Switchcraft three-way toggle. Now it doesn't have a Switchcraft jack, but I don't really care. I actually think the Epiphone stuff is good. I've had them side by side out on top of my so-called work table, a table that's, I'm going to call it a work table, but it's not actually. So I've had them side by side and you can hardly tell the difference between the Switchcraft and Epiphone. Now, I suppose Switchcraft will last longer, probably made with better material, but I've never had a problem with Epiphone three-way switch or jack. Some people say they're loose. Well, you know what I would do? I'd get a screwdriver and screw them in. That's what I would do. But in any case, I do have a switchcraft jack lying around if I so wish to change it. But right now, this jack is tight. Nothing coming out of this jack. So I'll probably leave it, but I've got the option to change it to switchcraft. Fretboard is actually proper rosewood. Now I think they started changing the fretboard material when this CITES thing, whatever you call it, I don't know if you pronounce it that way. When the CITES laws come in, they started changing it to I keep calling it jojoba, but that's actually a shampoo. But you know what I mean? That fretboard material starts with a J. I can never pronounce it or remember it. But they started using that instead. I prefer rosewood. This is proper rosewood, and it's a very nice rosewood as well. I go up the top here. 1960 Tribute Plus. This is a 2016. Damn it, I'm aging it by 100 years. This is a 2016 model. So it's 8 years old. Can't get it anymore. It's been discontinued for a few years. If you do manage to get one of these, I would highly recommend it. I got this for the priceless sum of £350 over Great British pounds. It's a good price, considering all the lovely stuff you get on this, what you don't get in normal Epiphones. The other Epiphone I've got is a 59, made in collaboration with the custom shop apparently. Now this got bus burkers in it. The bus burkers in the Duncan 59s and this sound very similar to me. I don't think there's a lot in it, so you know. Like I said, bonafide. These pickups are the right Gibson ones, there you go, I'll say it that way. And along with the tuners, the switchcraft stuff, it's also got CTS pots in this, so proper CTS pots. It's also got a push-pull. You can push-pull the tone for the bridge and the tone for the neck, and it gives you a serial parallel thing. So people on YouTube keep saying it's a push-pull thing to give you like a single coil. It does give you a single coil effect, but it's not a push-pull. It's not your proper one. It's a serial parallel. So they keep getting that wrong. So I thought I'd put that right. It doesn't change it to single coil, but it sounds more single coily, if you like. So you can get a lot more tones out of this guitar because it's got the push-pull. Now I'm going to put. Let's get back down here again. Because I'm an old geezer, it's better for me just to sit, you know what I mean? So, this has got reference to this, like I say, push-pull, but I'll be taking this, these pots out. I've got I'm probably going to put the antiquities in here. And I'm going to also put a proper 50s wiring harness kit in this as well. Because I've got one lying around, as you do. And that's going to make it even more 50s, so with the proper antiquity. Not that these pickups aren't proper, they're very proper, but antiquities are better in my opinion. I've not found anything better than antiquities, let's put it that way. And that's subjective, of course, but they should be good because they cost £400, which is £50 more than the whole price of this guitar. So, 50s wire harness is going to here. I was looking for a guitar to put the harness in to upgrade it. That'll be a big upgrade. It's got the 50s wiring and orange drop capacitors and all the rest of it. This itself has got proper capacitors, but doesn't have orange drop. It's got... Don't know the name of the capacitors, go and look it up. They're pretty much do the same job as the orange ones. But when I put the harness in, it's going to be even more 50s because that's what I'm going for. And when it comes to Les Pauls, I want them to be as close to 50s tone as you can possibly get. So I'm going to be doing that. So there's some soldering work to be done later at some point. Now the parts that come out of this is going into another guitar because these pickups are good. These ones here, just to remind you. So I've read in lots of forums because I've done a lot of research before I got this guitar. And although I tried to do it as quickly as possible because this guitar was used and probably would have been bought because, like I said, just £350. So before I tell you about the forums, I'm going to tell you about how good this looks. Because you would expect an 8-year-old guitar to be totally fucked up, but it's not. It's supposedly got slight pick marks because this doesn't have one of those plastic guard things. don't know what you call them, pick guard. So it's supposed to have very slight pick marks. I can't even see them. Everything's perfect in my opinion. It's perfect fretboard. I mean, I haven't even set this up, but it is pretty well set up. It's got quite a low action, and you still can get two-tone bends at the 13th fret. That's how I like to. If I can get even just a tone and a half bend at the 13th fret, I'm okay. You can actually get two-tone bends on this. This is very easy to bend as well. Now, as far as the neck goes, it's a D-profile neck. 60 slim taper. So I'm going to show you the back of it now. But there's the Grover locking tuners. That's the serial number, and that's the top. That's the old Epiphone from way back when it looked even less like a Les Paul. The head looks even less like it. That's a pretty weird, but you know, it's okay. I like it, actually. But it looks nothing like a Les Paul. There's the neck. Now, I'll show you the one scratch I can see on it. So there you go. On the right hand side of that white, the back there, is a slight scratch you can see. You really have to look to see it. This is supposed to get a small chip in it. I would call it more of a dent. Let's see if we can find that. There you go. That's a very, very, very small dent. So that's only two things wrong with this guitar. I don't even call it wrong, because you really have to look for them. So this is a very well preserved guitar for 8 years old. So, like I said, when I've done this up, it's going to have new, just to recap for people who don't listen, it's going to have new knobs on it, the proper top hat amber ones. It's going to have a new graphite lubricated nut. In fact, the actual pickups I'm putting in are £400 and the guitar I got this for £350. So with all that said, the pickups I'm putting in it are actually dearer than the guitar. I've not set it up, as I said. I like to set up my own guitars. It's pretty well, I mean, it's well set up. It plays good. Obviously, people have had it, have got, maybe even got it set up. Done it myself, I don't know, but it doesn't need set up, but I will do it anyway. Plays lovely, plays smoothly. I did have a problem with the D-profile slim taper neck at first, because I'm used to 50s Epiphones or 50 Les Paul necks. The more chunkier ones. This is chunky plus thin as well at the same time. It's supposed to fit in your hand better. I mean, it takes a bit of getting used to it. It took me 2 days. But I'm now used to it and actually like it. Do I prefer it to the 50s one? No. But people who don't like the 50s big chunky necks will definitely like this. And like I said, I've came round to it. At first it was a bit weird feeling. Couldn't get used to it, and I thought, oh, I hope I get used to this, but I did. Like I said, played it a little bit today. This is the 3rd day of playing it, and I'm completely used to it now, so it doesn't take long. And like I said, some people will probably prefer it. So it's a D-shaped, slim tapered neck. The reason I'm trying to turn it into at least the 50s is because it's got a rosewood proper 50s fretboard. And as you know, all the other Epiphones, I've got a 59, the one made in collaboration with the custom shop. Everything about that is 59 neck, 59 wiring. It's already got all the orange capacitors, blah, blah, blah. Bus buckers, which are not as good as Antiquities, let me tell you, but they're still good. But I mean, that's a good guitar, I like it, but it's got a Laurel fretboard. So the only thing they missed out in that guitar was the fretboard. Now this has got the proper rosewood one. It's going to have a proper 50s wiring harness put in it. So when I'm done, this guitar won't have the push-pull anymore, but as I said, everything internally in this guitar is going into another one. It's going into a cheap E335 type guitar, which it's actually got good pickups in it. Real good pickups. They're cheap ones though, but they're really good. And those pickups, and then we'll be going into another guitar. But everything in that E335, it's a Revelation E335 copy. It sounds lovely, that guitar, but everything in it's cheapo, including the pickups, but the pickups sound way more expensive than what they are. Very nice pickups. Those pickups will be going into one of my Court LP. That's what's going to happen to those. And these Duncan 59s, plus probably the whole internals is going inside that E335, the Revelation one. And that way I'm upgrading every single guitar just by buying the one set of antiquities. I'm upgrading this guitar, which in turn is upgrading the E335 Revelation one by putting the internals in the, because that doesn't have proper CTS pots, but it will when I'm done with it. And because this one's got CTS pots, and I'll have these Duncan pickups. And as I've said, I was trying to say before, and I stopped myself on my tracks because I like jumping all over the place. I did read a lot of forums that people said Duncan 59s, they took them out of this and put other pickups in it, but they put the 59s in a semi-hollow guitar and it sounded killer. A lot of people were saying that, so I'm thinking, great, I was going to do that anyway. 10 people said that these Duncan 59s sound great in a semi-hollow. So, I mean, they sound good in this guitar, don't get me wrong. I don't need to touch anything in this guitar, let's be honest about it, but I'm just going to, because I really like antiquities. I'm sitting there with a 50s wiring harness that I've had for about over a year, in fact. And I needed a cheap guitar to put it in because, you know, there's no point upgrading. I was thinking about putting antiquities in the 59 Les Paul, the Epiphone one I've got. But that would only be a slight upgrade. It's already got all the 50s wire, and I'm thinking, no, let's make a £350 guitar, which this one is. Let's make it better, and that's what I'm going to do. So thanks for watching. Sorry about the video quality and the shaky hand, because I don't have a stand for my mobile phone either, so I'm using it by hand. Sorry about the audio quality, but I will be putting this into Sony Vegas to edit it, and I will be upping the bit rate and all the rest of it to make it as good as possible. So thanks for watching. I'm going to do some audio clips now, and hopefully you enjoy it. But yeah, get your hands on one of these. There's not a lot of them about these days. It's not like it's like this is completely retro, vintage, but honestly, there's not a lot of them about. Not for this price anyway, £350. It's got a kind of used, it's got that nice feel and kind of broke-in kind of feel, you know, that people pay a lot of money for. These people like buying distressed guitars, and you go, oh, look, it feels played in. Well, this is played in. This is properly played in. And yeah, I like it a lot. I would highly recommend it if you can get your hands on one. So, audio clips coming up right now. Hope that gives you a good idea of what this guitar's like. And like I said, I started off with a kind of mini review, telling you what the guitar was made of, pickups, blah, blah, blah. What's my final thoughts? Well, final thoughts is I really like this guitar. The only thing I would change would be the neck. But I've got used to it, as I said, but I still prefer a chunkier neck. This is more of a D-shaped, a slim taper profile. So it's a slimmer neck in the 50s Epiphone I've got. I prefer that neck. I prefer the neck in my other Epiphone slash signature Epiphone model. It's not exactly the same as the 50s, the slash neck, but it's very, very close. This one is a kind of outlier of the three Epiphones that I have, in that it's, like I said, it's a D-shape, slim taper, more of a 60s profile. Would I prefer 50s? Yes. Am I okay with 60s neck? Yep. I'm okay with that. I've got used to it now. I mean, I got it cheap anyway, but even for the money when it came out. Now, I was doing a kind of evaluation. So say, I think this came out about 2015, 2016 or something. And people have been on the internet saying things like, you know, well, it's pretty dear, you know. I mean, it's nearly the same price now as it was then. I mean, you think things would depreciate if you're buying in the used market. Here's the thing though, when I've done the kind of calculation, this guitar is worth about £840, £850 of today's money. So you have to take inflation into account. So when this guitar came out, it was roughly about £840, £850 of today's money. So that's like a top end, the Epiphone. The best thing about this to me is the rosewood fingerboard. Now, it does have real Gibson pickups. Then again, so does my 50s Epiphone. It's got bus burkers. Like I said, I don't think there's a great deal of difference between these pickups and the bus burkers. Quite honestly, I don't hear a big deal of difference. The only thing I will say about these pickups is the neck doesn't take a lot of gain. It'll take gain, so you'll get away with like classic rock or something. Guns N' Roses about as far as you could push this guitar, I think. If you want to go beyond that as far as gain goes, I think the neck pickup's just going to get really muddy. Just can't handle it. It's the only kind of downside to the pickups. I like the neck pickup when the clean's nice and sweet. Sweet and warm, quite honestly. And if you're doing kind of clean or low gain, it's very good neck pickup. Otherwise, you know, just no chance of doing metal in the neck pickup anyway. Bridge pickup I like as well. I prefer the neck pickup though. Bridge pickup does all your rock lead stuff if you want to do that. But the neck pickup, as I say, copes really well with classic rock if you're doing lead on the neck. And with the kind of split coil, which is not really a split coil really, it's push-pull, serial, parallel, but a lot of people have said split coil, it's not split coil. But it gives you a kind of single coil-ish type of tone, so it just gives you extra, you know, tones you can get with this guitar. It works pretty well. There's not really any discernible drop-off in volume, which you get with a lot of guitars when you're splitting stuff. What's not to like? It's got a proper maple cap, although it's got a maple veneer on top, but it's a nice looking maple veneer. And it's a AAA one rather than a AA. So yeah, I think it's a really good guitar. I am going to, as I said, turn this into more of a 50s guitar by adding a few things. I've already said this previously, but I'll just recap. I've got Seymour Duncan antiquity pickups I'm going to put in this. I'm going to take out the insides of it as far as the wiring goes and put a proper 50s wiring kit in. I'm just going to put up with the neck, because obviously clearly the neck's not a proper 50s neck profile, but you know, I'll just put up with that because it is proper rosewood. It's the only Epiphone I've got that is rosewood. Yeah, this is really a very good value for money when it came out, and even better if you get it used at a decent price, which I've managed to do. I'm not sure if the jury might be out of whether it's going to be my favourite guitar. I'm sure it will be once I've done the kind of little pickup change and all the rest of it. As I said before previously, these pickups are going in another guitar. I don't have a problem with these pickups. Apparently they sound really good in semi-hollows. I've got a semi-hollow just for the job. So these pickups are going in my cheap semi-hollow, along with the insides, which is the CTS pots, which will make that an upgrade. But yeah, I would highly recommend this guitar, 100%. Especially if you can get it on another colour, but I don't think I think it only came out in 3 colours, this guitar, so you're really kind of limited to what colour you can get. I'm not 100% a fan of the actual other colours either, quite honestly, but if you don't like this more red, and it's not in your face, but if you don't like the red at all, you're not into red guitars, all this is only red around the outside, you might want to go for one of the other 2 colours. There you go, folks. That's the end of this kind of mini review. You've got the audio clips you can sift through. Don't concentrate on my playing, just concentrate on the tones. That's what I'm going for. No really, I've not been learning any new songs that I can stick in a video, so it'll be stuff you've heard before. But no, actually, I think the last time I learned a new song was about, well, it's not this year, and this is like June. So nothing new to hear, like song-wise, but I've just done a mishmash, as I said. Put as much things together, use as much as the pickup position as I could, just to try to get across the different tones you can get out of this. And hopefully that will suffice, because I can only do what I can. I can't get somebody else's fingers to play for me, unfortunately. But there you go. It is what it is. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.